The video discussing Dr. Joe Dispenza's Evolve Your Brain book, piece chapter 11, where there's a subchapter called Why Lift a Finger. So I'll leave a link to purchase the book in the description. So the intention is to follow this chapter, this subchapter, have a discussion and discuss any thoughts that come through. So this is all about why lift a finger. So I'm going to press play on my read aloud on Word.
Joe Dispenza. Evolve your brain. Why lift a finger? So when it comes to all this mental rehearsal stuff, what's in it for us? We may believe that we can change our brain by thinking, but what effects, if any, will this have on our body?
So, yeah, we're talking about mental rehearsal. Before this subchapter, we've been discussions about mental rehearsal. So this is this subchapter gives an example of a study that was produced to prove the effects of mental rehearsal versus non-mental rehearsal, and what effects produces in the body.
Through the simple process of mentally rehearsing an activity, we can derive great benefits.
Yeah, so that's good. We can derive great benefits from mental rehearsing and affect our body. Simple process. I like simple. It's good so far.
Here's an example of how that literally happened. As described in an article published in the 1992 Journal of Neurophysiology, subjects were divided into 3 groups. 1. The first group was asked to do exercise.
So I've got 3 groups of people. 1995 study. You can research Google study and research finger exercise. So I'll just do sum up. So it's in the 1992 in the Journal of Neurology, and 3 groups. First group, group number 1.
During which they contracted and relaxed one finger on their left hand.
So first group is practiced contracting and relaxing their fingers and their left hand.
For 5 training sessions per week for 4 weeks.
5 sessions for 4 weeks. Okay, that's group 1. So they're rehearsing the actual physical activity using their body.
The second group rehearsed the same exercises in their minds, on the same timetable, without physically activating any muscles in the finger.
Okay, group number 2 is rehearsing activity with them, just their minds, without their body. Same timetable, left hand, 4 weeks, 5 training sessions for over 5 sessions per week, 4 weeks, same timetable.
People in a control group neither exercised the finger nor their mind.
So this control group, who did nothing. Didn't exercise, didn't use their mind, didn't do any finger exercises during this 4-week period.
At the end of the study, the scientists compared their findings. The first set of participants had their finger strength tested against the control group.
Okay, good. So in the study, it's compared, which is good in the study, and strength tested against the control group. Who did nothing, didn't do any exercise, didn't use their mind, probably just sat on a beach somewhere.
And no-brainer, right?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Test group 1 and 2 against a control group.
Of course, the group that did the actual exercises exhibited 30% greater finger strength than those in the control group.
Okay, so that's 30%. I like that. So 30% greater finger strength. That was tested. 30% greater finger strength than in the group 1 from in group 3 who did nothing. So remember group 1, they did the exercise. They did the physical exercise. They put their body into it. Their left finger.
30% greater finger strength. Strength than those in the control group. We all know that if we put a load on a muscle and do so repeatedly, we are going to increase the strength of that muscle.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Put load on a muscle, it's going to be a natural increase in strength, which is why there's a 30% increase.
What we probably wouldn't anticipate is that the group who mentally rehearsed the exercises demonstrated a 22% increase in muscle strength.
So 22% muscle. There it is, there's a number, 22%. There's a 22% muscle increase in the group number 2 who, remember, just practiced it with their mind, how it would feel for their muscle, for their body to move, rather than actually moving their body. It's all with the mind, 22%. So 8% less than the group then actually move their body over that 4-week period, that 5 sessions.
22% increase. Increase in muscle strength, simply by doing the exercises with their minds. The mind, then, produced a quantifiable physical effect on the body.
Yeah, so the mind produced a quantifiable physical effect on the body.
In other words, the body changed without the actual physical experience.
There we go. The body changed without the actual physical experience. The body changed without the actual physical experience. Take that in. Okay, continue.
The body changed without the actual physical experience. If we can do that with our fingers, why can't we apply the same principle to other areas, such as healing ourselves of disease or from an injury?
Yeah, this is a question. If we do that with our fingers, why can't we apply that principle with other areas, such as healing ourselves of disease or from injury?
For instance, let's say that we have sprained our right ankle. It would normally take 4 to 6 weeks for that to heal, during which time the repeated applications of ice, compression, and elevation would be beneficial. But what if, instead, we mentally rehearse walking, jumping, and running on that ankle and imagine flexing and extending it beyond the range typical of an injured joint?
That's the other question. What if? Another what if question. So we can either 4 to 6 weeks of a nice compression, raising it up if we sprained our ankle. But what if we could imagine, just like the finger exercise in group 2, you imagined how it would feel for them to be healed, which led to a 22% increase in muscle strength.
What signal will our brain be sending to our ankle? What effect will it have on our healing process, and could our mental imagery strengthen that joint to prevent a recurrence of the injury? The process would be no different from the finger strengthening exercises.
No different process. It's no different. We're just imagining, we're just mentally rehearsing what it would feel like, sending signals from the brain to the body without lifting a finger.
Our mental conception of normal activity levels of the right ankle will fire the corresponding motor circuits and neural networks already mapped in the motor cortex.
So we're firing the motor signals, motor cortex.
The repetitive rehearsal of this mental act will begin to shape, embroider, and remold more advanced circuits of the brain's neurological network assigned to the right ankle.
So the more mental act will begin to shape, embroider, and remold more advanced circuits of brain's neurological network assigned to the right ankle without lifting a finger, firing neurons from the brain to the body, building the tissues, preventing it from happening again.
Repetitively firing those circuits will enhance their wiring. If we are able to marry our intent with concentrated effort to send a message to the tissues, the ankle should heal and become stronger. The signal.
Intention, focus, concentration. So based on the research, finger exercises, and there's been many studies, mental rehearsal. There's a piano player study as well, similar one, where it's 3 groups.
Autonomic nervous system, remember, that's the system responsible for repair and maintenance work, will contain a specific message to promote the healing processes in those tissues. Consciously activating the brain produces a level of mind with intentional energy or frequency that.
So consciously activate the brain. Constantly activating the brain to produce a level of mind with intentional energy or frequency.
Carries a message to the body. It produces measurable effects in the tissues, and it also creates new, more intricate neural nets in the body.
So it creates new, intricate neural nets in the brain.
And we don't have to lift a finger to create them.
And we do not have to lift a finger to create them. To create these circuits, these neural nets. It's all done by thought alone. And that's how we heal without lifting a finger. So we don't need to go to the doctor when we sprain our ankle. Obviously, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. This is not advice. Seek advice of your doctor. But if you said to your doctor, if you sprained your ankle and you said to your doctor that I'm not going to put ice in it, I'm not going to compress it, I'm not going to raise it up, I'm not going to put my body into it, I'm not going to, if you tell your doctor that, you are just going to mentally rehearse and using thought alone, heal, using the mind. If you told your doctor that, I'd be curious what the reaction would be. If you told them that I'm not going to take that pill or painkiller or whatever they're prescribing, instead I'm just going to mentally rehearse. I wonder what the traditional response would be to this. But it's there. It's proof. It's been maybe, I don't know, it's been paced, reviewed, these studies. Probably many out there. Research. Do your research. Yeah, do your own research. Google mental rehearsal studies. This is a finger exercise one in 1992. And yeah, my experience, I fell over and hurt my foot a few months ago, and I was meditating every day, concentrating, focusing, and I noticed that, yeah, I healed. The foot, the right toe healed, and I've got photos in a few, sort of a week, sort of scarring sort of healed. Yeah, sort of took my attention off the problem, and so I was in the solution of it. So yeah, it felt good to share this, and I'll continue to with Evolve Your Brain, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Yeah, this is just, I think it's really good subchapter to remind ourselves that we don't need to go anywhere. There's nothing to do. We can, it doesn't have to be with health. It can be mental rehearsing, being prosperous. Mental rehearse a relationship, how you feel in a relationship. Rehearse how you'd feel if you had a certain thing, or if you're in a certain way to be in a certain place. You can sort of tune into it. You can mentally rehearse. And that's it for now.